Okay, so I think this is like the perfect topic, the first topic for me to discuss on this page because it's kind of ironic in a way, and it's kind of you'll see, it's kind of funny. So what if I told you that killing a person in a video game is just as immoral as killing one in your current reality, in this reality, quote unquote? You probably think that I'm an idiot or I'm being like some fucking uber woke weirdo. Okay, fair enough. Well, first of all, I want you to think about simulations, okay? So, think about the probability of whether or not we are currently in a simulation. Um, People like to say that it's a 50-50. Well, okay, I can probably kind of get behind that. But then once you realize that simulations within simulations within simulations, once you realize that that's a possibility, it becomes a matter of, are we at the top level of simulations? What is the statistical chance that we are at the very top of the pyramid in this instance, right? If this is a possibly infinite amount of layers, then the statistical chance that we are at the very top of this table is highly improbable. So, whatever perspective you have on that kind of thing, either it being like a 50-50 kind of thing or like a near 99% chance, I think it's enough for us to begin to consider how relative our understanding of reality is and how we can compare that to the realities in which that we ourselves have created in our own society, right? So many people will say, well, like, an NPC can't feel anything. An NPC doesn't think. There's so many things about what we are that an NPC in a video game like GTA or something can't do or can't even contemplate. And we're so beyond that. We're like the peak evolution. And I'm like, okay, sure, but we have to realize as a species that our reality, if it is simulated, and even if not, is entirely relative in the sense that the higher the level of above us on the pyramid could be the equivalent of what GTA is to us, okay? And in the sense that, like, we could be the NPCs of that higher plane of existence. And so the question that I like to ask people is, if you were to somehow break the matrix or whatever the fuck, that kind of bullshit, red pill, whatever, and you went over to this higher plane of reality, right? And then there's this weird alien creature thing. Maybe it's just maybe it seems like a regular dude, doesn't matter. They're playing a game, Just imagine like a living room. You come into this living room in this higher plane of reality, and they're playing a video game. And you start watching it, and you realize, this is the reality that I'm from. They're playing my reality. And then they hand you a controller, and they say, hey, you want to play? I'm actually currently shooting these civilians for the fun of it. Are you going to play the video game? I mean, this is what your reality is. From your perspective, these are the equivalent of you. These people that you are shooting the video game, it are you. So in that sense, well, how you understand what I'm saying? Like, because of the whatever statistic you want to apply to the chances of simulations, you must realize that if we are simulated beings, and in that sense, meaning that we are relative beings, there is essentially no difference between the lower people on the pyramid and us. if you want to claim that like the beings on the higher topper of the pyramid get to do whatever they want to the ones in the lower ones, well, I mean, do you really think so? Because I don't think that you would play that video game in Outside the Matrix. I don't think that you would do that. And if you would, okay, sure. But I think that it's a question that we need to consider. And I think that I've never heard anyone like really think about this before. But it's something that I think about a lot, being someone that plays video games competitively. And I'm constantly shooting people on the head in a simulation, right? Talk to me about it.